What's up, y'all? Phil James. It's technically August 25th right now. I usually don't do videos on this type of subject, but this I find ironic, I guess you could say. Maybe. Well, maybe not ironic. That's not the right word. I find it strange. Okay, so we just had the eclipse and all the other crazy shit involved. And now we're looking at Hurricane Harvey. All I can say about this is, the obvious statements. Galveston Channel, Galveston Isle, all that. Houston, San Antonio. It's about to get slammed, alright? When they first started really talking about this hurricane, they were talking about it the day, to the day, the 25th anniversary of Hurricane Andrew in Florida. So we know how they do that stuff, the irony or the symbolism or the same days. Okay, so today, yeah. Right, okay, so yeah, 25th anniversary. The weather patterns are getting absolutely crazy as is. So check this out. Hurricane Harvey rainfall will be life-threatening, Hurricane Center says. Okay, so what they are predicting with rainfall, originally they were saying, 24 inches of rain. Well, then someone has come out and said that the news is lying and that it's looking more like 50 inches of rain. So that's a lot of rain. I did hear on one of these channels though, they said 3 foot of rain, up to 3 feet of rain fall from this one hurricane. Okay, it keeps on getting stronger as is. Went from it's category 1 right now, I believe. And they're saying by the time it hits land, it should be at least a severe category 3. At least. Could be worse. Right. I got some of these screenshots from the Impossible channel, so thank you, James. Hurricane Harvey rainfall will be life-threatening, Hurricane Center says. Once again, that's just another picture for you guys. Show the area where it's bound to be hitting. And then, from what the news and shit is saying, they're making it seem as if there is no direct route it's going to take. So in other words, they have not a clue. And they're just going to say, like, oh, it shouldn't be over here, but it'll be here. This looks more dominant than this. They have not the slightest idea. So this is one of those screenshots from James. Hey guys, I'm not trying to start a panic, but some of I work for a law firm here downtown. One of the lawyers I work with has a friend on the Houston City Council. The news is not telling the whole truth. The storm is expected to be 3 times worse than what the news is saying because they don't want to start a panic on the freeways like Hurricane Rita. The City Council and Harris County Flood Control had an emergency meeting this morning. Everything south of Katy is predicted to be devastated. They're predicting 50 inches of rain, not 24 like the news is saying, and 100,000 homes destroyed. They're expecting all of Houston to be without power for 3 days. If you guys live in a flood zone, you need to get out of Houston or try to stay with someone further north of Houston. I hope they're wrong, but that is the latest I've heard from what the news isn't telling you. Stay safe, everyone. Now, let's talk about that. 3 times worse. Okay. They said it's been 9 years since a hurricane has hit, I do believe they said Texas, and then they said 12 years since a major hurricane has made landfall. I do believe is what was said. So, you know, there's those digits, 3s, 9s, 12s, always common denominators, or whatever that's called, the multiples of 3, 6, 9, 12s, you know, all that stuff. Always those numbers. So, that it's on the 25th anniversary when they really start talking about it. So let's say this is going to be terrible. It's right after the eclipse. Strange, maybe just happened. You know, weather is unpredictable. Half the time we don't know. At least they say they don't know. But so let's get on to the next topic here. Houston is expected to be without power for 3 days. Now, why would they say that? Now, if they're claiming this devastation is going to be as bad, you know, as what they're saying here, and it's like unpredictable as could be, how is the estimate 3 days? Like, how do they know that, right? So, my question then becomes, does this have to do with Operation Black Skies? And I know it sounds maybe far-fetched. I know it sounds like maybe that's a far stretch, whatever. But I'll tell you why. Texas has their own power grid, okay? They take a little bit from the eastern power grid and a little bit from the western power grid. See, like, people like myself here in Ohio and people in Cali and, you know, Colorado and Wyoming or whatever, all those states, minus Texas, are all hooked up to the federal power grids. Texas, on the other hand, is the only state, other than, you know, Alaska and Hawaii, but in the continental U.S., the main states here, Texas is the only state that literally has its own power grid, and it takes both out of the east and the western power grids. Texas already has a lot of talk of wanting to break off from America, and then just like Operation or Jade Helm, whatever you want to call it, the whole Jade Helm 15, just like that, you know, all the shit went down in where? Texas. Now, Galveston Isle or whatever, Galveston Channel and all that, that's one of the places all those fish were washing up, all that crazy shit was happening. Now, if it's anything to do with HARP or chemtrails, clearly something hit Galveston and down there in Texas, and that would have caused all those mass die-offs of fish. We never, ever know, ever. So, the best we can do is speculate, and that's exactly what I'm doing here. So, the Black Sky event, when I got on that whole website and whatnot, and I looked into it, they said it would be the industry running simulations for power grid failures, right? Now, a lot of people claim that it will or could be a false flag. Some people are convinced it will. Some people don't think at all there's a chance because they think it's just the industry. Well, emergency management type agencies are involved, and the industry of the power, like power security, is involved. These are government agencies. There's a very good chance it could be a false flag of some sort. So, by me touching on the whole Galveston Isle and Galveston Channel mass fish die-off, that clearly means that that place has been hit with HARP. That place has been hit by chemtrails. So, who's to say that Hurricane Harvey here wasn't upgraded? You know what I'm saying?
7:42 a.m.
Who's to say that Harvey here hasn't been increased in power? You know what I mean? They're claiming they know it's going to go from a Category 1 at least to a Category 3 once again, those multiples of 3. And like I said, black sky event, it's all about power grid failure. Texas just so happens to be the one power grid that's separate from America, and it takes from the east and western power grids. So just like Jade Helm, that'd be the place to hit. You know, if you look at FEMA, their like list of their FEMA sections, Texas, Utah, and Southern California are considered hostile territories to FEMA and against the federal government. Hostile territories. Now, when this bad stuff happens in Texas, and I know there is technology that can affect it, yes, I completely think that something is being tampered with. So, let's recap, shall we? Hurricane Harvey just started being talked about right after the crazy, weird occurrence with this eclipse. 1. 2 days after the eclipse, we have Operation Black Sky starting the military exercise / industry exercise, and it's to simulate power failures, and it just so happens to last for 21 months. Okay, there's 2. Now, just like I said, FEMA and the federal government considers Texas, Utah, and South Cali to be considered hostile territories. That's 3. And then 4, Galveston has had mad fish die off, mass amounts of fish die and wash ashore. 5, Texas just had all that crazy crow activity on the freeways, like all those crows going crazy, flying down on the cars. Maybe completely unrelated, maybe not, who knows. But there's 5. 6, the news apparently seems to be lying about how much devastation this hurricane is going to bring with it. They're saying 24 inches or so, give or take, and it's not going to be too bad. It's only going to be a category 3 at the very highest. Well, apparently to a couple people that are involved with the city council down there around Houston and around Galveston, seem to think that it's going to be more like 50 inches of rain that drop down and more like 100,000 homes destroyed. 7, we're looking, they have no idea which path it's going to take. And when you go back and connect it with black sky events, Texas takes power from both the east and the west coast power grids, and they basically run their entire state off of their own power grid. So when wanting to simulate a black sky event somewhere, why not do it in the state they already consider a hostile territory to the federal government, a state that wants to break off and basically be their own country, and it just so happens the state has their own power grid also. Just throwing all those out there in one group because this seems like it's being tampered with some sort of technology like HARP, for instance. Mass fish die-off will go ahead and show that it is quite possible that HARP could be being used there. The mass crow swarming car event could also show that there is some sort of HARP technology that being used there. So let's look at the whole picture here, and let's pray, cross your fingers, that it's not as bad as what they think. But if I had to guess, them announcing it on the 25th anniversary of another major hurricane, the one called Andrew in Florida, I do believe, they do it on the 25th anniversary of that, and everything being multiples of 3, and then them just predicting they know it's going to be at least a category 3. I'm willing to guess and maybe even bet that this is going to be pretty gnarly. So once again, let's cross our fingers, let's pray. let's hope that the devastation doesn't go too bad, not too far. Hope we don't have another Katrina on our hands. Because that would be the place they'd do it to. Slam Texas, because it's considered a hostile territory, and that's basically the Fed, the industry, the government agencies killing two birds with one stone. They're testing their black sky power grid infrastructure failure in a hostile territory. See what I'm saying? So, alright y'all. It is now almost 3 in the morning. I gotta do some work tomorrow, and my battery's about to die. So, I'll let this go ahead and play and let you guys hear it for a minute. But I'm about to cut this.
From 4 a.m. Central Daylight Time Friday through Monday morning. Rest of tonight, showers and thunderstorms likely. Some thunderstorms may produce gusty winds and heavy rainfall. Lows in the upper 70s. East winds 5 to 10 miles per hour inland. East 15 to 20 miles per hour coast and gusty. Chance of rain 60%. Friday, tropical storm conditions possible. Showers and thunderstorms. Some thunderstorms may produce gusty winds and heavy rainfall. Highs in the mid-80s. East winds 20 to 25 miles per hour with gusts to around 35 miles per hour. Chance of rain 80%. Friday night, tropical storm conditions expected. Showers and thunderstorms. Some thunderstorms may produce gusty winds and heavy rainfall. Lows in the upper 70s. East winds 30 to 35 miles per hour with gusts to around 45 miles per hour. Chance of rain 80%. Saturday, tropical storm conditions expected. Showers and thunderstorms. Some thunderstorms may produce gusty winds and heavy rainfall. Up to 17 feet building to 12 to 17 feet with occasional seas up to 22 feet in the afternoon. Showers and thunderstorms. Thunderstorms will produce gusty winds and heavy rainfall. Friday night, tropical storm conditions expected. Southeast winds 25 to 35 knots with gusts to around 45 knots. Seas 14 to 19 feet with occasional seas up to 24 feet.
Well, for the record, it wasn't the first time I clicked this live feed. It wasn't literally sitting here repeating the same 4 sentences. So, sorry about that. I just kind of wanted to see if it would say anything different. But, alright y'all. Let's hope to God this isn't too bad. Let's hope this doesn't turn into some crazy black sky event in Texas. And let's hope that the so-called 3 feet of rain does not fall. Let's hope that it does not slam them that hard. Maybe it takes a turn and does a big U-turn. Who knows? Be an act of God, but times like this, probably not going to happen. Alright, y'all. Have a good night. Keep it real. Peace.